Welcome to this edition of In-Depth Alaska. I'm Tracy Sinclair. On Thursday, reporter Lauren Maxwell sat down with John Glover. He's the Wildfire Division Chief with the Anchorage Fire Department. Now, this is a new position with AFD, so we wanted to hear about plans for this summer, how the snowpack could impact wildfire season, and comparing Alaska to the devastation going on in California. Here's an extended version of that conversation.
Is there a need for this position? Obviously there is. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you will be doing.
So, yes, there is a need for this position within the department. What I'll be doing is multifaceted. A lot of our effort is focused on mitigation and prevention and actively engaging with the community to assess and employ the most effective fuel mitigation treatments, hazard mitigation treatments within the municipality, coordinating with our other divisions, Parks and Rec, stuff like that, to be able to execute, and also our interagency partners, BLM, DOF, all of those landowners to be able to employ an effective strategy to help lessen the risk and vulnerability for the municipality. And then additionally, working with the department to increase training and operational capacity as it relates to wildfire response within the municipality, and then just reinforcing our interagency partnerships as it relates to suppression within our municipality, and them supporting us and us supporting them.
So people are watching these images and coming out of LA, and it's just horrifying. I've heard the chief say before that the hillside is overdue for a major wildfire. What are your thoughts? Is that something that could happen here?
There is, first of all, I think it's worth mentioning that it's a tragedy, and it's just incredibly sad to see what is happening in LA. And our hearts and our thoughts go out to the families of the people that have perished within that incident. But the vulnerability that Anchorage faces is not dissimilar to what we're seeing in LA and Lahaina and a lot of areas in the West. And we are focused on being as prepared and well coordinated with our agency partners to deal with an incident like that. We have uniquenesses that help us in a positive way and also give us different challenges. Within Anchorage, we have lots of natural water sources. We have a smaller populace, and we have very, very informed and active residents that are engaged in supporting our initiatives. But we also have unique challenges where our geography and where we're placed to have additional resources come and support us. They can't just drive across state lines. They're flying up here, and sometimes that takes 72 to 96 hours to get those increased assets here to help us out.
Is it fair to say that the hillside is probably the most vulnerable area in Anchorage?
It is one of our vulnerable areas, and within this municipality, I mean, it's known that we've had fires from Eklutna all the way down Turnagain Arm, and substantial in size. And where our heaviest concentration of people are is right in the Anchorage Bowl. But with that said too, where we don't have a higher populace like Eklutna Valley, Highland, and areas like Rainbow all the way down Turnagain Arm, we don't have as quick a response to those more remote areas. So the risk is very unique, and it has different levels of complexity, and I wouldn't say that one is better off from the other.
What are some of the things that are being done to try to mitigate those risks?
So currently we are engaged in, we're in the bid stage of some of the projects, mitigation efforts and hazard fuel removal. Right now, we're assessing the entirety of the municipality and trying to pinpoint the most vulnerable locations, and also pair those with funding opportunities to leverage grants, and then execute the actual on-the-ground mitigation work. We're prioritizing life and safety and responder access and the egress of the public, safe egress of the public, as we're concentrating on these efforts. So We have a few different grants that we've been awarded, and we are looking to execute those projects in summer of 25.
So these are these federal grants that have come in, or what
Some
are
are federal, some are state. Really, our office and our division, we are pursuing every available funding source to support the municipality.
they? When you when you talk about those grants, is that mostly removing what, like beetle kill, or what are you doing?
All different kinds. It's a good question. We have grants that are supporting training and advancing our capacity within the department to deal with wildland-specific emergencies. We have grant funding for equipment as well as apparatus, and then also mitigation work, public outreach. We are not limiting ourselves to just singular initiatives with what we're requesting. We're looking for any and all options to support the municipality with the grants that we're pursuing.
And you said what, summer of what did you tell me? 2026 for putting these grants in action, or
No,
is that what you said?
negative. We will be implementing treatment work and initiatives in this summer of 25.
This summer.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. A lot of that work will be done
Some
this summer.
some of the work we're already doing, and you know, we have a community wildfire protection plan that we're actively engaged in developing right now. We've had our second stakeholder meeting with that, and that will be finalized in Q1 of 26. And that is really an overall preparedness plan for the municipality, delineating the vulnerabilities and the risk and mitigation efforts that we need to pursue to lessen that risk. And that is actively going right now. It's an 18-month process where we have every municipal department and all of the stakeholders, landowners within the municipality and external to the municipality are engaged in that, building that document with us.
And did you say also that there's a current study that is looking at which areas are most vulnerable that would for this grant funding that you're talking about? Is that a separate thing?
So that CWPP, the Community Wildfire Protection Plan, is that study, and that study is often required to leverage and apply for different grants. But since we are actively in process of that product right now, we're still able to apply for those grants.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea how much that funding kind of comes out to that you've
The
received?
current funding that we're operating on right now is a $4 million U.S. Forest Service funding. And we have roughly about $4 million worth of other funding that we are actively applying for right now.
Okay. And with some of that money, I mean, I know over the past summer we've been doing a lot of mitigation, Parks and Rec and whatnot. Is that connected to this?
Yes, ma'am. Some of that money is connected to it. Some of the work that Parks and Recreation have been doing, as well as our office has been doing, is connected to that money. And then we also have we've worked directly with HALO, Hillside Community Councils. They were able to, through their hard work and their initiative, they were able to capture $200,000 worth of funding for mitigation work, and we're operating as the custodians of that grant, and we've had very encouraging meetings with them and their staff and their president, and within this past month we just landed on the finalization of the projects that we're going to execute with those dollars.
Are those state or federal dollars? Do you know what those are?
That
Just
is
curious.
state dollars, I believe, that were awarded to them, and so they've been awesome to work with, and really I think that's what's enabled the success of this office so far since it's been stood up, is our ability to engage with the public, their proactive work that they've done on their own, and then their willingness to support each other really as a municipality and a community as it relates to the threats with wildland fire.
And I'm sorry, when did you say that community wildfire protection plan should be completed?
It'll be Q1 of 26.
Okay. One thing I think people are asking, or at least I'm asking, is our lack of snow this winter. How does that impact the wildfire danger? Does it?
Well, if it maintains this way, it certainly will. We typically, become snow-free in the grassy areas and out of the forested land sooner than we do in the timber, and so we have a bit of a lag that happens with our receptivity in the fuels and the actual tree line and in the forest. And if we don't have that snow depth and that moisture being held in there, it will definitely pose a problem when it comes to spring, and we'll have a higher risk for wildland fire threat and it getting in the actual timber and changing from that grass fuel type that we typically see in that April, early May area to potentially transitioning into the timber sooner. We have a lot of winter left, so hopefully we get some snow. I think we all like to recreate outside, and it's been a change this year.
Yeah. What else do people need to know? Is there anything in particular that homeowners should be doing, or programs for homeowners?
I think probably one of the valuable things to communicate to the residents, and it's something that we've heard loud and clear, that it's challenging for the homeowner to execute mitigation efforts on their own property. As we were blessed that the mayor's office has worked hard to open up the woodlot to deal with the hazards that we've seen through this windstorm. But those are a real threat as we go into summertime too. So, taking the time to assess your property and try and remove the fuels that are on the ground, and then recognize that us as a department, we're looking at some of our policies that we have and looking to make revisions to those to lessen the challenges when it comes to debris removal and beetle kill removal on your own property. So we're taking a look at those, and there'll probably likely be some policy changes as we go into the summer of '25.
I know in the past we've had programs where people could get reimbursed for removing trees and that kind of thing. Is that any of those aren't currently in place, are they?
That grant has expired, so we don't have a cost reimbursement piece. But I guess, like I said, we used to have, it used to just be easier for some of the homeowners to be able to actually remove some of the fuels that were on their own property. And so we're looking at different opportunities to help and support the local community with that effort.
Okay. When people just say, how prepared are we? Do you have an answer for them? Should we be worried?
I live here, right? I'm a community member. My family lives on the Anchorage hillside, and I have friends that live all over the municipality, Eagle River and south in Girdwood. And what I can say is this is a definite risk that we all are facing. I feel like now more than ever, the municipality, the department, and all of our interagency partners are on track to be more prepared than any season before. And I think that just since I've been in this position and the engagement that I've had with those interagency partners, I think we have a clear common operating picture, and we're well aligned to deal with the whatever summer of '25 brings us.
Thank you again to Jonathan Glover, Wildfire Division Chief with the Anchorage Fire Department, and thank you for listening to In Depth Alaska. Please like and subscribe to this podcast.